The invisible trap, keeping people financially stuck. Most traps don't feel like traps. They feel reasonable. They feel familiar. They feel like what everyone else is doing. And that's what makes them effective. The most powerful financial traps are the ones you don't resist because you don't recognize them as traps at all. People don't walk into them. They grow into them, slowly. Think about how a normal life is structured: a stable job, predictable expenses, long term commitments. On the surface, it looks responsible, but responsibility, when repeated without context, can harden into confinement. This is where things quietly shift. Choices stop being evaluated, they start being maintained. People don't ask, "Does this still make sense?" They ask, "How do I keep this going?" And that question changes everything. Maintenance replaces movement. What's interesting is this trap doesn't restrict action, it restricts imagination. People remain busy, they remain capable, but their decisions orbit existing obligations. They don't explore alternatives, they manage constraints. This isn't because they lack ambition, it's because the cost of disruption feels too high. If you look closer, the trap tightens, not through force, but through accumulation. Commitment on top of commitment, expectation layered on expectation, each one justified. Together, immobilizing. Have you noticed how difficult it feels to pause and reassess, even when things feel off? That discomfort isn't fear of failure, it's fear of unraveling. Because when your financial life is built around maintenance, any pause feels dangerous. This is where most people never connect this. Systems reward continuity, not necessarily growth, continuity. And continuity punishes interruption. So people avoid asking disruptive questions, they avoid stepping back. They stay inside motion, even when motion leads nowhere new. On the surface, this looks like stability. But stability without flexibility is fragility. When conditions shift, and they always do, rigid structures crack. This is the uncomfortable part. The trap isn't that people don't see opportunities, it's that opportunities don't fit inside the lives they've already built. So opportunity gets reframed as risk. Change becomes threat, and threat is avoided, quietly. This is why many people feel financially stuck without knowing why. They aren't blocked, they're anchored. Anchors don't stop movement immediately, they limit range. And over time, limited range feels like reality. People stop imagining outside it. They don't feel trapped, they feel normal. That's the trap working. Here's the shift that changes how this looks. The opposite of being stuck isn't sudden freedom. It's awareness. Awareness of how commitments shape behavior. Awareness of how continuity becomes constraint. This doesn't demand action, it demands clarity. Once you see the structure, you stop personalizing the pressure. You stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What am I maintaining without question?" That question alone creates space. Most people never reach this point, not because it's hidden, but because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to look at decisions you once felt proud of and see them neutrally, without judgment, without blame, just context. If this perspective resonates, leave a comment. Not with plans, but with observations. And if you want to continue, the next video explores how quiet adjustments, not dramatic changes, reshape financial trajectories over time. Traps don't announce themselves, they reveal themselves, only when you stop running.